Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Missy. Thanks for joining me again for another video for the Hip Kit Club. And this is another layout that I created using the 2015 December Hip Kits. And I was inspired by this month's mood board, and I was inspired by the dark charcoal gray color, and so I used that as my background, and this is from the cardstock kit. And I was also inspired by the picture of the silver glitter sneakers in the lower right hand corner, I believe, of the mood board, and I wind up adding a lot of silver glitter elements to this layout. So since the background is dark, I wanted to use some of the Shimmers paints that are in the color kit, and for them to show up to their true color, I felt that some white needed to be on this dark background first. And so I'm just taking some white gesso and an old gift card here and just smudging some down. And I'm going to do another coat, so I'm going to give it some heat here so it can dry, and then I'm going to come back over it again. And this is going to be my base for my Shimmers paints, and this way it won't look too dark on that dark background, because sometimes working on a dark background can be tricky if you're doing mixed media. Now if you're using acrylic paint, it will probably show up really well because it's so thick. But when you're dealing with, watercolor type paints, they're pretty light and watery, and so they're going to just seep into that paper. So this white is going to give me a nice base to start with, and I'm just going to use a paintbrush, and I'm just going to paint it on top of this white splatter that I've got here. Well, I guess it's not really a splatter, but it's not really a smudge. It's a big shape. I don't know what you want to call it, but I'm just going to paint over it, and so it's going to kind of look like the white is all blue. And I didn't want it perfect. It's okay if some of the white shows through. I'm going to go over the blue again with another coat after this dries. And if you haven't tried these Shimmers products yet, they are super shimmery and sparkly, especially after they're dry. And this blue color is really pretty. So I've gone over it again and added another coat, and I want to come in with some of these Prima watercolor pencils. And in the past year, we've gotten 2 different sets of these in other color kits, and so I pulled those out, and I'm using an aqua color and more of a turquoise color. And I just wanted to give a couple different shades of blue here, and I'm just using my water brush, and this worked really well. These pencils went on really nicely over the gesso and the Shimmers, and so it's really cool to combine all of your different mixed media things, because you just never know what color you're going to get, and you never know how it's going to, each one's going to react to each other. But it's really neat when they all mix together and you just create something that's unique. And sometimes it's all an experiment. I wasn't sure if these pencils would work on top of this, but they did, and so it was really cool to do. And I'm just scribbling a little bit on, and there you can see I've got some darker shades here and there. And there's more blue than you can see here because my lights are really bright. But in the end, you'll be able to see more of the blue. And I'm going to layer my picture and everything sort of in the middle of this space or this area. And this is just some color shine from my stash here. And I just wanted to add a couple of splatters. And I'm just using my little napkin here to do a little bit of dabbing. And so I've got that ready to go. And I really love how this turned out. I think it's really pretty. And in person, it's really sparkly. It's hard to tell with these really bright lights, but it's very pretty. All right, so this is where my picture is going to go. And I want to use one of these flowers from one of these, this crate paper. And so I'm going to take some time and fussy cut this out. And I like the fact that there's a lot of this charcoal gray in the kits this month. And, I usually throw in black elements, but this one is primarily gray, and I really like how it turned out. And I'm just going to go through everything and kind of look through the die cuts and the other pattern papers, and I'm going to make a couple of embellishments. Like I fussy cut the flower. I'm going to punch this little sentiment out here out of one of those cut apart squares. And I'm going to have a lot of blues, pinks, and yellows. Surprise, surprise. I tend to gravitate toward those colors a lot. I'm going to fussy cut this little messy circle that says shine, and I'm going to use that also. And I hated to cut into this cut-apart sheet because the back of it is black and cream stripes, and it's such a cool paper. But I really hate when they put two awesome things back to back because you have to sacrifice one side to use the other side. So this is always a good idea to get the paper add-on kit because then you can get double papers. All right, so that's a little bit of tissue paper from my stash there. And I just like to add that in for an extra little layer and interest. And before I start sticking everything down, I'm going to come in with some thread. And this is just hot pink. And I'm just going to layer it before I stick the picture down. And this picture is of my little Paige from a few years ago. And she was wearing a cute little dress. And was just trying to get some cute pictures of her in it. And she actually sat still for about 30 seconds. So I was able to get some cute pictures of her. Even though she wasn't paying me any attention, that's okay. I love the colors in the picture. She was sitting on a bench and our pool's in the background. So I love the blue and then the green from the hedges and then the pink from her dress. And it's hard to tell, but she's got gorgeous blue eyes. And so her eyes in the picture look really pretty too. So I'm trying to play on all those colors in the picture. I fussy cut that heart out as well. So a lot of these embellishments, actually all of them right now on the page, are from pattern paper that I just cut out. So anytime you get your kits, look through the pattern papers because sometimes you can find some really cool things to fussy cut out to use as embellishments and, get really creative, especially with florals, like the one flower that I cut out. I only cut one because it did take a while to cut it out because there's so many details, but I'm actually going to wind up moving it to the left side of the picture here in a few minutes. So I want to use... if you have these kits, then you have the Maggie Holmes Shine chipboard 12x12 sheet, and there's a couple of little birds on it. And so I wanted to use one of the birds, but I wanted to give him something to sit on. So I tore a piece of that black and cream striped paper from the 6x6 pad and kind of just stuck it out to the side there like a little ledge. And I did some silver stitching through it just for some more interest. And I want that little bird to sit on top of the stitching. And I just didn't want him kind of hanging in the air, and so now he has something to stand on. I know that may sound crazy, but I just didn't want him. He's not actually flying. He's perched, so he needed somewhere to sit. So I'm going to use this little bow, and this is the Maggie Holmes wood veneer pack that comes in the kits. And I'm just going to give it some embossing liquid here and some silver embossing powder that I have in my stash, and I'm going to heat it up and make it silver and glittery. And that is that little bottle that I used. It's basically the same as an embossing ink pad. It's just in a dabber bottle. And I got that from Michael's, and it's from Stampendous. And it works perfectly. So I've got the bow done. It's nice and silver and sparkly. And I'm going to punch this. Didn't punch very well. My punch got stuck. But that little tag that's got the XO, I'm going to use that over on the left. And I moved the gray flower there. It was on the right, but I moved it. And I'm trying out this dream piece there. I do want to use it, but I also want to use the word moments. It's a really big statement on this chipboard sheet, and I love the colors. It's got all the colors from my layout in the words, or in the letters, and so I wanted to incorporate that into my layout. I've got to make sure they're straight. And this month, I don't know, my titles haven't been super creative, and I think that's because there's so many words in the kit. You've got these Heidi Swap mistable words, and then there's several words in the crepe paper ephemera pack, like that's the word dream. And, they really just do the thinking for you. And so I know dream moments isn't really a title, but I wanted to use both of the words. And so I'm going to overlap dream here. And it does not bother me that doesn't even make any sense, but I like the way it looks. And I'm going to come in and even add more words. And I'm going to use the glitter thickers here. And again, this echoes those silver glitter sneakers that the picture from the mood board. And I'm going to add in the word remember. So technically, I guess you could say my title is Moments to Remember, because I'm going to come in with that little sheet of Studio Calico circle alphas right there and put in the word to. And so Dream isn't really part of the title, but I like the way it looked, and it was pink, and so it's on there, and that's the way it's going to be. So, you know, you can kind of interpret the title however you want. But I like the way it all looks together. I like the way that there are 3 different words there, and they're all different things. I've got a die cut, I've got chipboard, and I've got thickers, and I like the way it looks. And so I drew me some lines there, and this is a silver metallic ballpoint. No, not ballpoint. Yes. Ballpoint? I can't think. Rollerball pen. Last thing I'm going to do is come in with some yellow paint. And this is from a couple of kits ago as well. One of the color kits. It was one of the, back in the summertime, we got yellow and I think a lime green color. It's those paint dabbers from Ranger. And I just dabbed some onto the plastic, watered it down, stuck my brush in it, and I'm splattering it around because I wanted to echo the little bits of yellow that I've got going on behind the picture and in the word moments. And there's my final page. I love how it turned out. I think it's really bright and fun, and I love the dark background. It's such a contrast to the bright colors in the picture and all of the embellishments. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I had really lots of fun making it. And let me know if you have any questions about anything that I did or any of the products that I used. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.